Hello! Looks like some of you are still joining. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hannah Healy, and I run the food and health blog HealyEatsReal.com. And I'm passionate about real food, healthy living, essential oils, and just natural, non-toxic living. So today I'm going to show you how to make 5-minute healthy mayonnaise. So this is a really easy recipe that I use all the time. And if you're not following me and you're watching this live, you can just tap the little person in the corner of your screen and you can follow me there. If you're watching the replay on Periscope, you can just swipe your screen from left to right and then you can follow me there. And if you like what you're seeing, just tap your screen for hearts. So this recipe is also on my blog. So if you go to HealyEatsReal.com and just search Mayo, you'll find it there also if you need the written down instructions. So I'm going to just put the phone down here. I'm not going to be able to answer questions or comments while I'm making the mayo, but I will pick up the phone afterwards to answer any questions. So if you have questions, just save them until the end and then I'll answer them, but I'm going to just set my phone down to be able to make the mayo here. Okay, so I'm setting my phone down. Hopefully you can see that okay. Okay, so I'm going to use this jar here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get an egg. So you'll need 1 egg yolk. And I use these pasture-raised, non-GMO eggs, these ones here, if you can see that. So I'm not worried about any kind of contamination since they are responsibly raised. So I'm okay with having that raw yolk. So I'm just going to get the yolk here. So I'm just getting the whites out of here, so hopefully you can see that. Just the yolk. Okay, so we got the yolk there. I'm going to set this aside. So I'm just going to place the yolk right down at the bottom of the jar. And then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon more or less of apple cider vinegar. So you can also use the juice of a half a lemon for this as well. So apple cider vinegar or lemon, either one works. And I'm not going to measure it exactly, I just do a splash. So that's about, that was a little much. But that should be good. And then I also put in a spoonful of Dijon. So I say, you know, a tablespoon, but you can sort of eyeball that as well. So I'm going to put this mustard in the jar as well. So just put that right in the bottom there. Okay. And then you're going to add a tablespoon of water. So I have this measured out in this cup already, so I'm just going to put that right in the bottom. So these are all the sort of acidic ingredients at the bottom, and then you're going to place the oil right on top of that. So I like to use avocado oil because this is a really healthy oil to use for mayo. Most of the mayo that you buy at the store uses canola oil, and canola oil is not good for you. It's really inflammatory, high in omega-6 fats, which are inflammatory, and a lot of the times it comes from GMO canola. So I like to use avocado oil, and it's a really mild tasting oil, so it's kind of better than olive oil, because if you use olive oil, sometimes it can get really bitter when you mix it up for the mayo. So I'm going to measure out 1 cup of the avocado oil. And I like to get this avocado oil from Costco. They have a really good deal on it, And this is a good brand that I like, so they may have it at your Costco for a good price. Okay, so there's 1 cup of the avocado oil, and I'm just going to put that right on top. And it will naturally separate just because oil and vinegar don't mix. So you have all your ingredients in there. And then what you're going to do next is you'll need a stick blender for this. So a stick blender like this. And it's super easy. You just put the blender right down through to the bottom. And then you're just going to pulse that, or you're going to run it for probably like a minute or so. And you'll see the mayo start to form right away. So I'm going to turn this on now. So as you can see, just like a minute or two of mixing there. At first you just keep the stick blender right at the bottom for, you know, probably 30 seconds or so until you see it start to make the mayo. And then once you see that at the bottom, you start bringing it up and mixing everything in. So right now we have mayo here. As you can see, it's pretty thick mayo. And then the only thing that I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add some salt, so some sea salt. So I like to add the salt afterwards. And this is, you know, half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, depending on how salty you want it. I sort of just eyeball it and just put a bunch in there and then mix it. So put the salt in there, and then I'm going to mix it once more. So I'm going to put this aside for a moment. So that's about it when it comes to mayo. It's super simple. And I'm just going to get a spoonful out here so you can see the texture. So there you go. Homemade mayo. Really simple and easy to do. So I'm going to pick up the phone now and see if anyone has questions. So I wasn't watching the phone while I was making this, so if anyone has questions, you can comment now. If you like what you're seeing, you can just tap on your screen to give hearts. And if you're not following me and you're watching live, you can just tap the little person in the corner to follow me, or if you're watching the replay on Periscope, you can just swipe from left to right to follow me. And again, this recipe is up on my blog, so if you go to HealyEatsReal.com and search mayo, you'll find the recipe there. So hope you guys enjoyed that.